All right, let's get rocking here. Thanks for joining me. This is Frank Array with the National Real Estate Post and Listing Booster. And so we'll go ahead and dive right in. First of all, little housekeeping items. There should be a GoToWebinar icon somewhere on your screen. In that icon, you can click in there and you can ask questions. As I'm going through this, feel free to ask questions. I'll try and answer them at the end. What else did I want to tell you? This is being recorded, so we will get the recording out to you after it's done, just so you know. I'm going to go through a listing booster overview with you from a loan officer perspective. So if you're a real estate agent, this isn't for you. I don't want to waste any more of your time. So you might want to bail out of this one. We'll circle back with us and try and attend one of our other ones that are for real estate agents. So if you're a loan officer and you're looking at listing booster, this is the place for you. Whether you've never had listing booster, you don't have listing booster now, or even if you do have and you just want kind of an overview refresher, this is a good place to be. So I'll go ahead and dive in. Right now I'm sharing my screen with you, my home screen, and I'm showing you the Listing Booster homepage. I want to direct your attention to this little section down here. I highlighted in blue, lower left corner of the screen. These are the amount of purchase leads that have been generated by our users utilizing the plan I'm about to show you. We've been tracking this for a couple of years. So 1,114,281 bona fide, honest to God purchase leads that our users have generated by using our listing booster tool along with the plan that I'm about to show you. So if you jump in to listing booster with us today, you'll be able to start enjoying some of that. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to bring up my presentation real quick and we'll hit play. Again, I'm going to show you this product and this tool and my plan that goes with it as an overview. I'm not going to get into the dashboard and click all the buttons and show you all that, because I want you to understand what it is and how it works for you as an originator. I think that's the most important thing, is to understand what it does, to understand how it's going to help you, right? To see if it's a plan that that you feel you can do, right? This is a real tool. This is a genuine, honest to God tool. And like any other tool, you have to work it, right, to get a result out of it. So it will require some work. The good news is, I'm talking about 20 minutes a day. That's it. So if you can give yourself 20 minutes a day of honest to God devotion to this product, some really amazing things are going to happen because it's just the right thing to do. And we all know that as salespeople, especially originators, we know what the good habits are. The 20 minutes a day that I'm going to ask you to do are going to be those good habits, those good, solid habits that we need as loan originators. So first of all, let's kind of establish where our business comes from as originators, real estate agents, past clients. Maybe you're purchasing some leads now and whatever other marketing you might be doing. But on the purchase lead side, a lot of you, I think, will be able to dump buying leads when you pick up Listing Booster, because we're a pretty high lead generator, as I showed you from the homepage. So we're going to help you with today is looking at establishing better realtor relationships and those other marketing methods that you can work on that are going to help with the lead generation side of the product. So first of all, let's talk about realtors. And I think most of us on this call, if we're originators that have been in the business a long time, and if we're making a living at it, these numbers are going to vary between people and areas. So just, kind of put your own spin on this in your mind, right? But the concept is sound, and I think you'll agree with it. I think most originators that are making a living today in this market, which is really a purchase market, although refis might be coming back, who knows? But for a good solid purchase book of business, I think most people probably have 4 or 5 steady eddies, realtors that are, they're our go-tos, they're our favorites. We've been doing business with them for a long time. These are the steady eddies that they think of us first, right? Whenever a deal comes their way, they think of us first, okay? And if you've got 4 or 5 steady eddies, I know you're getting business from other areas, but these 5 or so steady eddy realtors, they'll provide you, somewhere around 3 deals a month, right? I mean, that's pretty standard. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less, just depending on the month or depending on how many of these steady realtors you've got, right? So, I mean, just from a simple math perspective, then, I mean, if we doubled the amount of, steady eddies that we had, and if they were producing, and if they thought of us first, just like our current 5 or so, then they would have to provide us somewhere around 6. Again, a little more, maybe a little less, depending on the month or what's going on. But it would be more, right? It would definitely be more than 3, okay? Because we just have twice the number of people who think of us first, who are in the business, who are hopefully producing agents. And then so obviously we'd be able to increase the number of deals that we're getting, purchase deals that we're getting into our pipeline from our real estate partners. So, pretty much there you go, problem solved. We could double our pipeline. We just got to double the amount of producing agents that we're working with and get them to think of us first. But the problem we have at that point is well, where do we find them? What are we going to pitch them, and how do we get them to think of us first? And those are going to be the three things that I'm going to go through right now: is where do we find them, what do we pitch them, and how do we get them to think of us first? And this is all going to be solved by Listing Booster. It's pretty darn easy, to tell you the truth, and it's only going to be like 20 minutes a day. Where to find them is easy. You just go to Trulia. You type in your city or your surrounding cities, right? You can see when I did this a couple months ago, there was 285 homes. I know that means there's going to be at least 100 or so agents that I could target, or try to talk to with that many listings here in my area. And all you do is click on one of the listings, right? And when the listing pops up, you're going to see the listing agent with their contact number. I mean, so how to find them is easy. There's no issue there. Now, I really recommend working with agents that have some listings. And here's why. I know as real mortgage guys, we're always looking for the buyer agent, and there's nothing wrong with that. Keep working those guys for sure. But just rest assured, I mean, every one of your buyer's agent, hates being a buyer's agent. They all want to start getting some listings. That's where they want to be. That's because the listings are where the money is, and that's where the deals are, and that's where the buyers come from. Right now, if you're an agent that has a few listings, right, that means that you're an agent that has some tenure, right? I mean, when we're going to look for agents to work with, we should look for agents that have been at it for a while. Agents that, they're good, right? They've been in it. They know how to do it. They've got databases of people that refer them buyers, right? We want to work with those agents. And if you can find some agents on Trulia that got a listing or two, maybe 2 or 3 listings, something like that, 1 to 3 or 4, then you've got agents that are, like I said, seasoned, tenured agents that have databases, because that's probably where they're getting listings from, is their past clients, people they sold homes to, and now they're, selling those homes. Also, when you're working with agents that have these databases who've been in the business for a while, they get buyer leads all the time. Now, I know that sometimes listing agents, they don't work buyers. So what do they do? If they're a big listing agent, if they're just an average listing agent, they still work buyers. But if they're a bigger listing agent, and I know some of them, they won't work buyers because they've, if they've got 3 or 4 listings a month going, they're doing good, right? But they still get buyer leads like crazy. And what Listing Booster is going to do is put you in the position to get those leads directly from them. Because in those cases where you've got listing agents that maybe, when they get a buyer, they hand them off to another agent in their office. The way that works, and I know for a fact, because my wife is an agent in an office, right? And she doesn't have, well, we've got 1 listing. She just took her first listing, but she works as a buyer's agent. And so where do you think her buyer leads come from? Where they come from? The agents that have listings. And they'll say, hey, Brenda, we got this buyer. Do you want to go chase them down, right? She goes and chases them down. And so, but if you're working with the listing agent that got the buyer lead, who's going to hand it off, and if you're working closely with them, you'll be able to get the loan on that deal, before it even gets to the buyer agent. So I'm just telling you, if you're going to work with real estate agents, we want to work with producing agents, agents that have business going on. And if they've got a listing or two, they got it going on. They've been in it a while. They got databases. They're getting referrals, okay? And you can get those referrals. What's more is the listings are what drive the Listing Booster product. And what's more to that is that you gain control over the listing. I just want you to think about that and let that sit with you for a second here. It's a lot different being an originator who's in control of listings than an originator who's not. I mean, how did Zillow make $1.3 billion last year? By marketing listings. That's what they did. Now, you're never going to be a Zillow, but you can be a little Zillow. You could be a mini Zillow. And that's what we're going to teach you how to do. And that's what you wind up becoming in Listing Booster, is you become a little Zillow. And you're in charge and in control of listings. And you're going to do the same thing Zillow does, which is market those listings. And I'm going to show you, it's 20 minutes a day. It's not going to kill you, right? But you do a little bit of marketing of these listings, and then you will generate the lead activity from those listings. Plus, you're going to build rapport with these agents that you're working with and get their referral business from them. So with Listing Booster, it's kind of cool because you're able to burn the candle at both ends. You're able to pull referrals out of producing agents, but you're also able to pull leads off of their listings. And that's the beauty behind the product. It's a win-win, man. It's super awesome. So you're going to find your agent, right? You're going to go, okay, this looks like an agent that I'd like to work with. I mean, I don't know this agent, but maybe I'm familiar with the agent, but I'm not working with this agent. So I'm going to go ahead and, give this agent a call. But the problem is, what are we going to pitch the agent? Because, I mean, we've kind of established that these agents are producing, they've been in business for a while, so they probably have relationships, right? So, I mean, why should they talk to you? They've already got somebody they like, and they're not working with you. So we got to pitch them something that's going to make them stop and think. We got to pitch them something that makes them go, oh, what is that now? Because we kind of want to put a little monkey wrench in their brain so that they'll listen and that they'll give you some time so that you can go over something with them and then hopefully give you an opportunity or a chance to begin to work with them. That's what we're going to do. So what I'm going to suggest you pitch them is Keyboom. Now, Keyboom is the sister product to Listing Booster. They're like connected together, okay? And what Keyboom is, if you're not familiar with it, is Keyboom is a property search channel on TV. So we own it. We invented it. It's our product, right? We're the only fully interactive, legitimate, honest-to-God property search channel in the streaming television space. We've got 1.6 million listings on the channel, and it's very cool. We've got hundreds of thousands of consumers have added the channel completely organically, by the way, to their streaming devices. So what is the streaming space? Just a little snapshot of Keyboom here and how this works if you're not familiar. The streaming space, you're probably already familiar with. It's like, you can see these devices down here, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, right? These are streaming devices that there's like over 200 million households that either have a streaming device or a streaming TV, smart TV, right? And everybody's streaming now. This is how you watch Netflix on your TV and stuff like that, right? Well, it's a huge, huge space. And we are the only ones that have an actual honest-to-God property search channel in it. We did it. We were first to market. We've had it for about 3 years. But what's really cool is when you become a Listing Booster loan officer, and if a real estate agent connects with you in Listing Booster, that real estate agent becomes what's called a featured agent, and their listings become what we call featured listings on the channel. And so you might think, well, big deal. There's only a couple 100,000 consumers in the country so far that have it. Why would that matter? Well, here's why it matters, and this is why they're still going to want it. Because perception is reality, right? And that's the gosh darn truth. And if this real estate agent connects with you in Listing Booster, if they agree to connect with you in Listing Booster and they become featured agent and their listings become featured listings on the channel, and featured listing means it goes to the front of the property search like this. So this is an actual snapshot of an area where this particular home is the listing of a featured agent. So it is a featured listing, which means it's the first one that they see when the consumer's looking at it. And why this is important to your agent is your agent gets listings. We already know that for a fact because we found your agent on Trulia with a listing, right? So your agent is going to want to get more listings, which means when they're on a listing presentation, they're going to want to be very competitive on that listing presentation because oftentimes when they're on listing presentations, they're competing with other agents, right? That's just the way it is. Well, be it by being connected to you in Listing Booster and automatically becoming a featured agent with featured listings, automatically by that association on Keyboom, on their next listing presentation, they get to say, hey, I'm going to do everything everybody else is doing, Mr. Seller, but I'm also going to get your property featured on this cool TV channel, okay, on your streaming devices. The seller probably has a streaming device, a Roku or an Amazon, right? So I'm going to get your property featured there. All my listings are featured. They go to the front of the property search. So, I mean, all things being equal, if you got 3 agents and everybody's got pretty much the same stuff, but one agent has this TV thing, right? They're going to win out on that listing. And it happens all the time. We get that feedback all the time. So what we're going to want to pitch them is getting their property featured and getting them featured on this television channel by being associated with you in Listing Booster. That's what we're going to want to pitch them. We're going to let them know that if you associate with me, connected to me, you get featured, you get moved up to the front of the search on this cool property channel, and you get a piece of marketing material that you can talk about it with your sellers about it on your next listing presentation. That's going to get them to go, wait, what is this now? What are you talking about, right? I really recommend you guys, if you got a streaming device, a Roku or an Amazon or an Apple TV, go find Keyboom, add it, experience it. It's free, right? But understand that by being a Listing Booster user, you're connected to it. And any of your agents are now automatically connected to it. So that's a powerful thing to pitch them, right? Because it's different and it's new and it's not what everybody else is talking about. So when you make that call, you'll probably get the voicemail. When you leave the voicemail, don't leave all the information. Just leave your name, what property you're calling on, and your phone number. So they will call you back. And when the agent calls you back, you say something like this, and don't worry, you're going to get a copy of this PDF. So you'll be able to, you'll have this script available. Don't worry. But you just internalize it. I think you get it, right? You guys have been doing this a while. You're just going to say, hey, thanks for calling me back. I saw your listing on Trulia. And look, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but there's this really cool property search channel on the streaming television devices. Like, I'm sure maybe you've heard of Roku or Amazon Fire Stick or Apple TV. And she'll go, yeah, I've heard of those. Well, and you go, yeah, there's this really cool property search channel on there. It's got 1.6 million listings. It's called Keyboom. And here's the thing. See, I'm a listing booster loan officer, and so by association, any agents that I work with within Listing Booster, they become featured agents, and their listings become featured on that channel. And it's only $1 a month, unlimited listings. And the cool thing is, it comes with a piece of marketing material that you can use on your next listing presentation. So if you're in a competitive listing situation, you could probably win that listing because you'll have something unique and different that you'll be able to talk to your seller about. And I was just hoping we could get together so I could show it to you and just talk to you about it. See if you like it, right? That's what you want to say. Okay, now here, I'm going to tell you this. I know that this works for a fact. I know it works for a fact because we've had loan officers who wanted to quit Listing Booster because typical, they bought something and never used it, which I hope you don't do. But then they call and say, make up some BS excuse like, oh, I couldn't get an agent to talk to me, so I want to quit. And then Brian gets mad. And the next thing I know, he's forcing me to go Facebook Live with him. And we are live on Facebook for the world to see, fully exposed. And we are setting appointments for some loan officer, who's 1,000 miles away, by calling on Trulia, pitching Keyboom, and saying, this guy would like to show it to you. Can you give him a few minutes of your time? And me and Brian get agents to say, sure, send him on by. All the time. We've done it several times, right? It's going to work. Okay, when you make these calls, there's going to be a lot of agents to choose from. You just start calling. And you're definitely going to get some to hang up, or you're definitely going to get some to say, no, thanks, right? But I guarantee you, because I've done it personally on behalf of other loan officers more than once on Facebook Live, you'll definitely get agents to go, well, what is this now? And, oh, okay, well, that sounds interesting. Well, sure, come on, let's show it to me. You'll get that. And those are the ones that you're going to wind up going and meeting with, okay? And when you meet with them, you're going to, of course, tell them about Keyboom, but you're also going to show them all the other stuff that Listing Booster does for them. And this is actual screenshots of the presentation that you can give to your real estate agents, which of course includes Keyboom. You're going to get that done, and it's not going to be that hard to do. The other thing is if you get to that point where, they're meeting with you and they're looking at everything, they're going to say, sure, let's do it. Let's work together. So voila, that's a wonderful thing, right? We have what we call the 20-20-20 plan. Now, you don't have to do it, right? You don't have to go this far, okay? But we know for a fact that if you do this, it'll be wildly successful. And again, it's 20 minutes a day experience. It's not that big of a deal. So essentially, to build up your agent pool in Listing Booster as you're starting out and getting going with Listing Booster, first thing is we got to build up our agents, right? Get it? You've already got agents that you can plug in right away. So whoever your existing steady eddies are, you just plug them in right away. Bing, bing. They'll say yes to whatever you're doing, and you'll get your first 4 or 5 in there right away, right? But then we got to build up, right? Remember, we got to build our agent pool. Remember, if we doubled the amount of agents that think of us first, right, our pipeline would naturally be bigger than it is today. We all know that for a fact, okay? So it's the 20-20-20 plan. It's just 20 minutes a day, calling on Trulia, pitching Keyboom, saying, let's get together. If you do it for 20 days, that's not even weekends, that's just Monday through Friday, you'll get 20 agents, no problem. But without any trouble. And I'm going to share a story with you at the end about that, right? So on average, it turns out to be accurate in our system. On average, a typical user who adheres to our plan that I'm teaching you and uses the tool in a simple, easy way, right? They typically have about 20 producing agents that they're connected to, at least 20 listings per month. That's usually higher. And they'll generate several hundred purchase leads per month. based on those numbers. And again, it's just going to be a 20-minute a day thing. So, again, let's go back to, if we have 5 steady eddies that think of us first, and on average, we're going to get 3 or so purchase deals out of them. And then we said, well, if we got 5 more, and if they thought of us first too, then our purchase deal pipeline would certainly increase, maybe probably double, because we got this, double the people. Well, now I'm talking 20, and like I said, you don't have to go the full 20, but we've got guys, I'm not BSing, in our system. They've got 50, 60, 80, 100. We've got one guy that's got over 200. He actually has 2 listing booster accounts. And but this takes time, and it takes some energy, but I mean, it's something that can get done. But I mean, if you had 20, and if they thought of you first, right? And if you work booster for 20 minutes a day for 20 days, you'll get the 20. I mean, you'll get them. I mean, you might as well. It's not that hard. It's an easy pitch, right? Some will, some won't. So what? You just call for 20 minutes. Do it for 20 days. You'll get your 20. Well, if they thought of us first, right? If they were agents that thought of us first, I mean, then where would our pipeline be? Hey, I'm putting 12 in here because I'm just doing, doubling the numbers or whatever. But even if it's under, I mean, some months maybe it's 10, maybe it's 8, some months maybe it's 13, 14, right? But on average, if you had 20 who thought of you first, that's what it would be. And I got to believe that all of you are agreeing with me. I'm not pitching you to do anything that's outrageous or, not doable. I mean, this is just the only thing you're investing here at this point is some time in yourself, in your business. I mean, I'm sure you can do that. So, I mean, that's the truth. But here's the truth. They don't think of us first yet, right? I mean, just because we went out and got them to say, yeah, and, they get a listing booster account, because they get their own listing booster account underneath you. You wind up owning a master account listing booster that 100, and you could plug 100 agents into it. But when you plug them in, they get their own username and log on and password and all that stuff, and they can work the system themselves. But I'm going to teach you, don't rely on them to work it. You'll find that some will love it and just work it themselves. But for the most part, if you work it for them, you're going to do better. You'll do a lot better. And again, I'm still only talking 20 minutes a day. It's not like it's going to overwhelm you with work. So, but you have to engage with these people. That's the thing. If we want to pull referrals, it'll be easy to get leads generated from these 20 agents with their listings. Okay, that's not a problem because you're in control of that. That's easy. But what's better is to get referrals coming in from them as well, right? Even more importantly, in my opinion, is get referrals coming in. And you can get the referrals coming in, but you have to engage with them. I mean, this is reality, right? You've got your 5 steady eddies, and that took time to build those relationships. You had to actually speak to them and get to know them and stuff. Well, we got to do the same thing with these 15 new guys, right? We got to speak to them and get to know them and that type of thing. We have to ask for the business. But if we do that, what'll wind up happening is you'll wind up getting deals. The good news is Listing Booster is going to give you the reason to engage. And it's super simple. It's super easy. So where you can build the rapport with these people so that you'll start to pull the referrals out of them. It's not a big deal. So let's go ahead and kind of figure out, what's a regular day in the life of a listing booster loan officer who's working with these agents. Okay. Well, you've got your agent gets a listing. They put it into their MLS. Okay. And then Listing Booster sucks the information out of the MLS. Now, Listing Booster is fully automated in most areas. You don't have to lift a finger to create the marketing materials that Listing Booster is going to create for you. Some areas, very few around the country, you may have to do some manual stuff. But for the most part, you shouldn't. And we teach you how to get it all connected, and it's not hard. It's really easy. So, but anyway, so they get a listing, and it goes into their MLS. Listing Booster grabs it, and then this is what Listing Booster does for you. Well, first things first is we're going to generate a text code, right? We got to have text codes, and one of the big things we use text codes for, guys, is I really encourage you as the originator to buy at least 10 of these sign writers, right? With text codes. And when you generate text codes, you can assign those text codes to your agent's listings. So you can do that. Now, the agents can do the same thing. They can generate their own text codes and assign them to the listings, and they can buy their sign writers. And that happens a lot of the time. So that's, and it doesn't matter who generates the code and who gets the sign writer, but when a text code gets flopped onto a property, right? If a lead comes in through it, you both get the lead. You and the agent get the lead. So But for the most part, I personally would be in control of it. I view Listing Booster as a tool that I'm going to take control of, because you know what the truth is, the agents would rather you were just controlling it anyway, right? Because they're running around being lunatics, running around like a chicken with their head cut off all the time anyway, right? So telling them to log on and do something for 20 minutes a day is going to be, to them, you might as well just set them on fire. I mean, that's just how a lot of them are. Not all of them, but a lot of them. So I would just take control of it. Now, sign writers that go on the for sale signs, really kind of important, because it just gives people a way to engage with that property where you get a lead from it, instead of sitting in front of a property and going on Zillow and learning about the home. So anyway, getting back to what happens when the listing gets pulled into the Listing Booster. When the listing gets pulled in, we're going to generate a text code, right? We're going to generate a dedicated property website that's about that specific property, right? With a video on it and everything. Virtual tours are going to get created. The property tour video is going to get created. Print material is going to get created. These are the flyers that you put in the lawn sign. My wife and I just delivered those to her listing, her first listing yesterday. We did that. They're beautiful, and they drop right in there, because people will drive up and pull those things. The nice thing is about ours is we don't give enough information to fully, we don't give them all the information. We just give them enough to whet their appetite, but it forces them to text for more information, which is nice, because then you get the text lead. Okay. We create what we call a Craigslist photo. It's just a photo that has the text code and embedded into the photo. And yes, it's used on Craigslist. And I recommend doing Craigslist, because it generates a lot of leads. But it can get used on Facebook Marketplace, Pinterest, Instagram. It can get used anywhere. So that gets created. And then, of course, the property gets put on Keyboom. And these are the main things. There's probably a couple of other little things that we do in there. We've got open house flyers and other things that you can make use of. But for the sake of you being a loan officer, using the tool and using my plan, these are the main things that are going to, what you're going to engage with in your 20-minute a day engagement, right? So, so when that all happens in Listing Booster, so once the listing comes into Listing Booster and all those things get made, you and your agent get an email saying, hey, all the stuff got created for you by Listing Booster. Now, the agent's going to dig it, because she's going to be able to forward that along to her seller, okay, which me and my wife did, right? And you're going to dig it because you're going to be notified that a listing has come in. And so what are you going to do? Well, again, this is a 20-minute a day experience. It's not going to take, it's not going to ruin your life or give you a new job or anything like that. But it is time to start engaging, because like I said, even though we get those new agents to say yes to us, we've got to build that rapport. We want to extract referrals, right? I want referrals out of them. That's what I want. So yes, I'm going to generate leads off their listings, and we'll talk about that. And I'm going to chase those leads too, right? But I want to get referrals out of them too. I mean, that's, I'd rather, any day of the week, I think any one of you would agree with me. Would you rather have a warm referral sent to you by a producing agent, or would you rather chase an email lead? I mean, what would you rather have, right? I'd rather have the warm referral, but I'll take the email lead too. I mean, I'll chase that, but I really like that warm referral. So what Listing Booster is going to help you do is pull these warm referrals out of these producing agents at the same time that you're generating leads off their listings as well. So you got to engage to get that done. And so the first thing that I really want to emphasize for you guys is, every time you get a new listing in and you get notified in Listing Booster, you absolutely have to make a call to the listing agent. You just got to do it. If you don't do it, in all honesty, it's kind of just being irresponsible if you don't do it. So, I got to ditch Brian real quick. It's just being irresponsible, because when a listing comes in through one of your agents that you're working with, I mean, let's think about that dynamic. You've started a relationship with a real estate agent, and they have a seller, but what else do they have? They have a buyer, because that seller is going to wind up buying another home. Okay, that's what's going to wind up happening. He's selling a house, more than likely to buy another one. And did you know that 80% of the people who sell a home move within 50 miles of the home that they're selling? And can you lend within 50 miles? And sure you can. So when you get notified that listing's come in, you call that agent, man, and you don't leave a voicemail with any information. If you get a voicemail, say, hey, call me on your new listing. You want to have this little quick conversation. So when you connect with the agent, you'll say, hey, congratulations on that listing. And they're going to be like, thanks, man, I appreciate it. You might say, I'm just curious how you got this one. What happened there? And you'll let them relive their triumphant moment, right, of capturing that listing. Okay. But then you're going to go right for the jugular vein and go, so tell me what's going on with the seller. Can I help the seller with anything? Where are they moving to? Okay. Now you can only get 3 possible answers. The first answer is the best, which would be, that's a great idea. Let me connect you. There you go. You got your first warm referral at a listing booster, right? And it happens all the time. Okay. If you ask, that's where the difference will come in. Okay. I've had loan officers that I talk to and I say, do you make your listing calls? And I've had them say, no, I don't. If they want me to talk to them, I will. And that just, come on, man. Come on. Make the call. Ask. If you ask, you're going to increase your chances of getting something out of that by like 8 billion%. Okay. And that's a true statistic. Look it up. All right. You got to ask. So there's only 3 possible answers, right? The first one is, yeah, that sounds great. Let me connect you. Rock on. Our first referral. The second answer is the worst case scenario, which would be, nope, he's cashing out buying a mobile home in Topeka, Kansas, and he's going to raise earthworms for the rest of his life in retirement. Okay? Can't help that guy, right? But the third answer would be very common, which will be, he's working with somebody else. And all you have to do at that point is just say, hey, no problem. Can you check with him though and see if he wants me to give him a second opinion, because I might be able to get him a better deal. If I get him a better deal, he might want to talk to me. So can you just check and see if he might want me to run what I can do for him past him, right? Just say that, because 9 out of 10 times the agent's going to go, oh, okay, yeah, let me see if he wants to talk to you. And you know how loyal buyers are, right? They sniff better rate from somebody, they're probably going to talk to you. Now, at that point, I don't know if you're going to be able to do a better deal than, the other guy or not, but here's what I know for sure. By asking, at least you're going to get to take a swing at it, right? You will. And I'm betting that some of the time you're going to win, okay? Of course, after you ask about the seller on this little quick phone call, you're going to let them know what you're going to help them out with Listing Booster, and we'll talk about that. But then before you hang up the phone, you're just going to hit them with the Listing Booster script. And this is the script that you're going to say 4 times a day. So remember I said 20 minutes a day? 20 minutes a day, you're basically either going to have one of these calls or you're going to post a property and make a call, okay? So in your 20 minutes a day, you're going to post and then you're going to call. And I'll show you. I'll go over this with you, right? But when you make your call, you're going to always hang up. Before you hang up your phone with any of these producing agents, you will always use this script. This is your script. Hey, before I let you go, any pre-calls or pre-approvals I can help you with today? Because you want them to know that you're there looking for business, right? So imagine this easy little phone call, right? Hey, congratulations. Thanks. Hey, how'd you get it? Oh, man, past client referral. Awesome. That's awesome. Hey, what's going on with the seller? Can I help the seller? I think he's working with somebody else. No problem. Can you check and see if you'd like me to give him a second opinion now? I might be able to get him a better deal. Can you check and see if you'd like to check and see if I can get him a better deal? Okay, yeah, that sounds good. I'll pass him your information. Great. I'll follow up with you on. I'm going to go ahead and help you out with Listing Booster. We'll get this thing posted to Facebook maybe tomorrow, and we'll go from there. Okay, great. Thanks, Frank. I appreciate it. No problem. Hey, before I let you go, any other pre-calls or pre-approvals I can help you with today? That's your call. It's going to take you about 5 minutes, if that, right? But that's your script. Before I let you go, any pre-calls or pre-approvals I can help you with today? Because remember, we're trying to build rapport with these newer agents to us, okay? Now, if you did this on every new listing, how many do you think you could convert? On average, you'll have about, if you get your 20 agents, you'll have about 10 to 12 new listings coming in, and you'll have listings going out, right? They're going to get sold, go pending. But you're going to be cycling these listings that you'll be in control of in your Listing Booster account. So you have about 10 or so that'll fly in every month. You'll be able to make that call about 10 times a month. And if you did it every time, I mean, how many would you convert? If you got to do that 10 times in a month, spend those 5 minutes a call, would you convert some? I'm hoping you're saying yes. Okay, so what are we going to do? It's 20 minutes a day, right? That's what I said, 20 minutes a day. So once the listing gets in, you've made that call, okay? Maybe that took 5 minutes. Well, I got 15 minutes left in my 20-minute experience, right, for the day, because Frank said 20 minutes a day. So there's 15 minutes left of my Listing Booster experience. So here's what you can do, all right? Let's say we grab one of the listings that we have for one of our producing agents in our dashboard. And I'm going to show you how to do this at the end here, to show you how fast and easy it is. And I'm just going to share a dedicated property website with Facebook lead capture turned on, just defaults to being turned on. And I'm just going to share it into a Facebook community group or two. And this whole experience here will take me about 40 seconds to do. All right, and I'll show you because I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, sharing to Facebook community groups is a wonderful strategy. There's another training on it. After you buy our product, we're going to take you through that training immediately so that you understand how to do it. It's very simple. It's easy to find the groups. It's easy to join them, and it's easy to share into them. Okay, click, click, click. That's the work you're going to do in Listing Booster. Click, click, click. Okay, there's not a lot. But I can share into Facebook community groups. When I do, it kind of looks like this. And if a consumer clicks on it, they're going to look at the website for a few seconds, and then it's going to stop them and say, hey, if you really want to see this thing, you got to either continue with Facebook or, give us your information. And like, if they're interested in the property still, 100 times out of 100, they just continue with Facebook. And what winds up happening is you wind up capturing their name and their email, and you've captured a lead at that point. Remember those 1,114,523 purchase leads on my homepage that we update every single day? The vast majority of them were done through this strategy. It's really easy. It's super fast, super easy. There's nothing to it. Again, this whole process might take you about 40 seconds, something like that. I'll show you at the end of the video. But here's another little secret squirrel tip when you do this, though. It's kind of a way you can get other agents to work with you is when you do share a listing into a community group in Facebook, tag agents. So for sure, tag the agent who listing belongs to, but then tag maybe one or two others that you're not working with in your area that you'd like to be working with. And if you just did that every time you posted to Facebook, at some point, those other agents are going to reach out to you. We get those reports all the time from our users. The other agents will reach out to you and say, hey, man, I got a new listing. You want to share it for me? You'll say, sure. Let's get some coffee and talk about it, right? You'll bring them into Listing Booster. So in about 45 seconds, I shared a listing, and now I'm going to call the agent, whoever that listing belongs to, and say, hey, Bob, I just want to let you know I shared Main Street to a couple of Facebook community groups for us today. We'll see if we get some leads. And Bob's going to go, great, Frank, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. And you're going to say something like this. Yeah, man, I'm just trying to help you and your seller get some buyers, expose the property, man. It's going to go, great, Frank. I really appreciate it. You can go, cool, Bob, no problem. Hey, before I let you go, any other pre-quals or pre-approvals I can help you with today? Right? That's what you're going to do. That whole process of sharing that listing and making that call will be 5 minutes or less. You're just going to do it 4 times a day. That's it. 4 different agents listings a day, right? So maybe I did Bob. Now I'm going to go for Jane. She's got a property. I'm going to drop hers into Craigslist. It will take you about 3.5 minutes to put a property into Craigslist. I know. I've done it multiple times. Many times. My wife has a new listing, right? I put that property in Craigslist like into 4 different Craigslist areas, right? Each time it took me a few minutes, maybe 3 minutes, something like that. Yeah, you do it. Do it. Think about this. You're in control of these listings. It's going to take you 3.5 minutes to do, okay? You have benefits from it now. Now, if somebody texts for that information on that property, you get the lead, okay? But even better, now you get to call that real estate agent. Say, hey, Tina, I posted Harvest Drive into Craigslist today. Just want to let you know. We'll see if we get some text leads from it. She's going to say, great, Frank, thanks. I appreciate it. You say, no problem, Tina. Hey, before I let you go, any other pre-quals or pre-approvals I can help you with today? I'm trying to build rapport with these new agents, right? And think about the way that I'm building the rapport. It's like, I'm not calling going, hey, Tina, we talked a while back, and, I haven't gotten a deal from you yet, so I was just checking to see if you had anything for me. Tina, who's already got a relationship with some other lender, more than likely, right? No, you're calling Tina and saying, hey, I did this for you today. I'm helping you and your seller today. I just want to let you know what I did. You can go, thank you. I appreciate that. And you go, no problem. Before I let you go, any other pre-quals or pre-approvals I can help you with today, Tina? That's what you're going to do. How long is that going to take you? About 5 minutes. Okay, then I took another listing that's owned by another agent, posted that to Facebook Marketplace. That experience literally takes about a minute, maybe a minute and a half. Make my phone call. Hey, Chuck, I put that property on Facebook Marketplace today. Awesome, Frank. Appreciate it. Hey, no problem, man. Hey, before I let you go, any other pre-quals or pre-approvals I can help you with today? Oh, I put this one on for Jane on Instagram. Hey, Jane, I did this for you today. Hey, no problem, Frank. Hey, I appreciate it, Frank. Hey, no problem. Before I let you go, any pre-quals or pre-approvals I can help you with today? Do you kind of get what I mean? You see what I'm saying? It's like 20 minutes. You're going to have all these listings every day. You're just going to go, okay, want to pick this one? Boop, boop, boop. Hey, I did this for you today. Before I let you go, any pre-quals, pre-approvals? Next one, boop, boop, boop. I did this for you today. 4 times. 4 times. So you just post a little, engage a little every day, just minutes a day. Okay, so let me give you a visual representation. Okay, we got our 20 that we built up from calling 20 minutes a day for 20 days. And they all have listings because that's where we found them was on Trulia, right? So on Monday, I did these 4. Okay, Tuesday, did those 4. Wednesday, did these 4, right? So if we had 20 agents and we just did 4 a day in a week, we would have called all 20 of them. 20 minutes a day. That's it, right? You post a little every day, engage a little every day. That's it. Get it? See, you want to post a little and engage a little every day because, guys, remember, we're trying to get them to think of us first. And one of the best ways to get them to think of us first, guys, is by using guilt. See, guilt is a greatly underutilized sales tactic, and it works marvelously. Because imagine being that real estate agent on the other end of you. I didn't know you very well before you made that call to me. I don't know who you are. I'm the agent. You're the loan officer. We had a conversation. I saw this listing booster thing. I said, sure, let's do that. I've managed to log in. I have my presentation. So now when I go on listing presentations, I can talk about Keyboom and get the listing. So I'm happy about that, right? And now I'm getting leads are coming in, right? I'm seeing leads come in. I'm happy about that. But more than that, I'm getting a phone call from you at least once a week saying that you did something for me, right? You did this for me and you're asking me for a referral, right? About 2 or 3 weeks of this goes by and I'm going to be like, shit, I gotta get this guy a deal. I gotta get this person something. And that's exactly what's going to happen. And then when you get that referral from that agent, how good of a job are you going to do on that deal? You're going to do a great job, right? Because you're awesome. You know you are. You know how good you are. You're going to slay that deal, right? And now you've got an agent who 3, 4 weeks ago you had never spoken to, right? 3 or 4 weeks down the road from now they're like, what the hell? Who is this guy? They gave you a deal and you killed it, just did great with it. They're going to be like, this is my guy, okay? That's what's going to wind up happening, okay? 20 minutes a day. All right, let's talk about the leads because that's kind of a big part of this product because by doing the activities that I just told you, by just posting these listings here and there, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, Facebook community groups, and we'll teach you, don't worry, once you buy the product, we'll coach you through this. It's easy to do. You're going to generate just a crap ton of leads. It's just the way it is. Leads are great. Okay, in fact, on average, one listing could generate dozens of email and text purchase leads, right? But you got to be posting it. So just so you know, too, keep in mind. So, you get a listing with an agent. That listing might be with you for 4 to 6, 4, 6, 8 weeks because they just don't sell that fast anymore, right? So, weekly, since you're kind of going to be touching everybody once a week. So once a week, you'll be sharing that listing to a place or two, right? That one listing. So by the end of its life with you, you may have shared it 8 times or 6 times or something like that. And every time you share it, pretty much every time you share it somewhere, the way we teach you, you're going to generate leads from it. I mean, you'll generate leads. Okay. So, but you got to remember though, guys, these are leads, right? They're not referrals. So, when it comes to an online lead, you got to treat it right. You got to take care of it the right way. Sometimes we do get frustration from some of our users because they get so excited about the number of leads that they're generating, and then they just can't convert them fast enough, so they get a little bit frustrated. But I think that's because, for whatever reason, sometimes, probably not you guys, but some guys, when they originate an online email lead or something like that, they're kind of expecting that lead to sort of like act like it's a referral, and it's not a referral. I mean, just have the understanding these are people, real human beings that were interested to see these photos, that were willing to give you their contact information, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're ready to jump into a 1003 today, or they're just looking. They could be a great deal like 4 months from now. You know what I mean? But right now, they're just kind of poking around. So if they don't engage with you, don't get upset or freaked out. Just understand you got to treat them the right way. There's 3 rules to online lead conversion. And these are the rules that any big online lead company, maybe you're really good at online lead conversion. If you are, I think you'll agree with me. The 3 rules to online lead conversion are: number 1, high volume. You need a lot of them, right? Number two, you got to respond real fast when they come in. You got to be quick on the response. And number three, after that, you got to drip on them forever. I mean, you just got to continually stay in front of them. So if you can do that, and if you're well versed in that, then these leads will pan out really well for you. If you're not well versed in that, try to get well versed in it. Just understand what I'm telling you and take it to heart, and do what I'm about to tell you, which is this: make sure that your Listing Booster account gets connected to a drip CRM system. So just so you know, we will help you generate a lot of leads. Our product is a lead generating machine, but we are not a CRM. That's a whole different animal. And there's other products out there that are really good at the follow-up drip campaigns and all that stuff. We don't do that, but we connect to them. So like Velocify, Usurpa, Big Purple Dot, Line Desk, these are all really popular, autoresponders and drip systems. They're right in your dashboard in Listing Booster. You can connect directly to them if you have one of these accounts, okay? Otherwise, we are also part of Zapier. If you're not familiar with Zapier, it's kind of a hub. So you may have a CRM drip system that you like. They're probably in Zapier. And so is Listing Booster. So you can go to Zapier. For a free account, you can get 500 zaps or data transfers per month. And you could connect Listing Booster to your CRM through Zapier. That way, when the leads come in, they're automatically going into your autoresponder and into your drip system. Our top guy in Listing Booster uses Usurpa. And this guy's a big shot. I mean, and you don't have to go this far with this product. I mean, even if you just do what I showed you, you're going to be wildly successful. This guy has 2 Listing Booster accounts. He has 200 agents. I don't even know how many listings, but he generates like 20,000 leads a year. And he's been doing it for about 3 years. And he puts them all into Usurpa. And he converts about 4 to 6 deals a month from that because he's in the machine. He built the machine, right? High volume, respond fast, drip forever. And that's what he does. And so now he's converting 4 to 6 deals. He's told us he's had months where he's done like 10 or 12 conversions off of it. But I mean, bear in mind, this is a guy that's put, 60,000 leads into a system that's being dripped on every freaking month. Okay. Well, you got that going on. You're going to convert deals. And he's not stopping. I mean, he's just continually adding in. God, he's probably up to 80,000 by now. I don't know. But you don't have to be that, maniacal about it, right? But you do need to connect, right? You got to connect to something. If you don't have something, I like Line Desk. It's simple. We connect right to it. The full-blown Line Desk product's only like $49 a month, I think, and it'll auto-respond with text, with email. It has an app, so when they come in, that's what my wife uses. So when the lead comes in, we get notified, and she just puts it into new lead follow-up, and Line Desk does the responding, and then if they reply back, you do it all through the Line Desk app until they're ready to go to the next step, take an application or whatever the case may be. It's really cool. So, but you got to do that. I would hate for you guys to get into the product and generate, even in your first month, you could generate, a few hundred leads. And then if they didn't go into a follow-up system, then that would be a real shame, because, chances of you got to bring in a lot to get a conversion. So the trick to that, though, is a fast response, right? So here's what I say your first responses need to be. Is this, okay? So when the lead comes in, whatever system you're plugged into, and if you're not plugged into a system, then this has to be you, okay, as best you could do it, right? Because they can come in a lot, right? So what you have to do is, or your autoresponder should do, the first response needs to be, hey, I'm just making sure you got the information you were looking for. And so that's a good response because it's not a high-pressure salesy response. It's almost like tech support saying, hey, did the thing work right, right? Then your second response within a minute after that needs to be something along this line. You can do whatever you want. I found that this one worked well for us. But is, hey, just FYI, there's X amount of dollars worth of down payment assistance available in our area for first-time home buyers. If that interests you or somebody you may know, let me know. Thanks. Okay, that's kind of what I would recommend. Because when it comes to leads, online leads, email leads, and text leads, when they come in, of course you're hoping to convert it, right? But what you're really hoping for first is just engagement, right? We're just hoping that they respond to us. And if we can get them to respond to us, then we might be able to respond back. They might respond back. And the next thing you know, we might go down the path of working a deal. My wife's working 2 deals right now. And she's been working them for months, to tell you the truth. These are buyers. Probably both of them she's been working for about 3 months. They're still working with her, though. They're looking at houses from time to time. We just haven't found the right one yet. But they came in through this. This is exactly how they came in, through doing this type of a follow-up. But you know, there's all kinds of great feedback and stories. I wanted to go over one with you here real quick before I close this up and answer your questions, and that's this. So, you know, one of the corporate accounts that we have is with Altera, and you know, when you get a corporate account with us, we take you guys through an 8-week training where, you know, we're really hands-on and just really hammering it. And so we were looking at the Altera account. We saw this kid, right? We saw this kid in the account. We didn't know who he was. You can see this is April 5th. This is last week, right? It's a Friday. And this guy, Philip Holguin, good kid, man. And when we were looking at his account, we were like, man, this kid's like right where he should be after about 3 or 4 weeks in, right? We're like looking at his numbers. We're going, this kid's like right where he should be, this guy. We don't know anything about him. So Brian says, I'm just going to call him and talk to him. So he calls him up. And he talks to him. He goes, oh, my God, dude, can we go Facebook Live on this? And the guy goes, sure. And you can see he's a young kid, right? And so bottom line is this. So he's talking to the guy. Turns out he's brand new to the business. He's been in like a year. I don't think if you watch it, if you go to Brian's Facebook page, you'll see this live. It's recorded on his page. See, here's Brian up here doing the interview with him. But he's been in the business like a year, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, something like that, right? And he's just been working Listing Booster for a few weeks, just doing what we say. And here's his results. 12 real estate agents, 26 listings, 179 email leads, 17 text leads, right? And he's got his first deal out of it, okay? And the deal came from the leads, right? So, oops, sorry. So, I mean, this just kind of gives you an idea. So, and I kind of wanted to illustrate this, especially the fact that he's a new kid, right? He's new to the business, new to everything. He's having results. I mean, think about this. 12 realtors that had 26 listings. These are producing realtors. This 1 year in the business kid was able to break through existing lender relationships, okay, doing what I just told you guys, pitching Keyboom, having the meeting, having him say yes. 26 listings are now in his control, okay? He's marketing them, doing what I showed you, post a little every day, call a little bit every day, right? Generated, this is probably significantly more now. This was a week ago or whatever, right? He's already generated a deal from these, and this is just a few weeks in with Listing Booster. This is a new kid, okay? And I wanted to show this because I think if you guys are seasoned on the call, because I know there's probably some people that are on this presentation who've been in the business a while, and I think what happens to us when we've been in the industry for a while is we kind of, you know, like through this presentation, you might have said to yourself, well, that's not going to work, or I can't do it that way, or that's not how I operate, or that isn't it, you know, and that can happen to us when we get, you know, we've been in the business a while, right? We can get a little, I don't know if jaded's the right word. You know what I'm saying, right? We can kind of talk ourselves out of things when in the meantime, I got this guy, he doesn't know anything. You know, he's just doing what we say and he's getting results. This is one deal. This deal's going to turn into 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6. You know, it's a little bit of time goes on. He's going to grow his realtors. You know, he's just doing everything right because he doesn't know any different. You know what I mean? He doesn't know any better. He just is doing it, and it just works. So I would try to turn that around with you guys and say, man, for you more seasoned guys, imagine what you could do having more experience, you know. So anyway, I think you can see we got the plan, we got the tool. It's a great plan, great tool. We have streamlined stuff. We're not over featured. You know, we don't have too many features where it's just like overwhelming. We got just the right amount, a simple tool, a simple plan, 20 minutes a day. You know, you just engage it and it works. I mean, it just works. I'm gonna go ahead and go into Listing Booster real quick because I do want to show you when it comes to sharing, right? When it comes to sharing the properties, it's really simple. I'm just gonna log in here into a dummy account so we don't mess anything up, right? So you log in here. This is how your dashboard would look. Here's your agent's listings here, and they'll all be here, right? You'll see your agent and who they are. And to share this, because I'm going to share it to a Facebook community group, then I'm going to call the agent and say, I did this for you before I let you go. Any other pre-quals or pre-approvals I can help you with, I'm going to click it on to Facebook. So give it a second here. I'm using Firefox, and I think if you use Chrome, it goes a little faster. So just give it a sec here. Okay, so here it is. Now I'm going to share it into a community group, right? So I'm going to say, here's one of ours locally, 707 Home Hunt. There's like 26,000 people in that group. I'm going to say down payment assistance. Okay, I'm doing this for my agent, right? This is the work that I'm doing for them. I'm working for them. I'm being different. Oh, I better tag that agent I wanted to work with. One who I'm not working with, right? That I want to. Tamara from Realty One. Yeah, I'm going to do that. All right, I got my group. I'm ready to go. I just hit post, which I am not going to do, right? But boop, post. I'm done. I mean, anybody time me? Right? That's the kind of, in that 20 minutes a day. I mean, this is the work you're doing for them, right? But to them, it's a notable thing to do. I mean, you're taking the time to prospect a listing for them, that's going to generate them leads and generate you leads and, all that kind of fun stuff. I mean, and now I'm just going to make my call, right? I'm going to make my call and say, hey, Sally, I just want to let you know, or Angie Agent, I just want you know I did this for you today to see what we can get done. She go, great, thanks, Frank. I appreciate it. I go, no problem. Hey, before I let you go, any other pre-calls or pre-approvals I can help you with today, Sally? Trying to build that rapport with those agents, right? So that's it. That's my presentation. And there you have it. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording right now.